fight of the night was Eric Anders and Andre Oliveira. Won performance of the night, obviously. A lot. You still in here? Yeah. You got it, kid. You won the $50,000. Yeah. Yeah, you. Yeah! Congrats. Go! And Steve Ersick, that kid came in, fought a top 10 guy. Didn't finish, didn't whatever, but what a badass performance by him. I'm going to give him $50,000 too because he's a stud. Go ahead. What do you got?
I mean, obviously got to start with Amanda, a fantastic performance by her. She looked amazing all round,
Yep.
Wrestling, striking, and then obviously announced her retirement. I'm curious about your immediate reaction to her performance and the fact that she's deciding to walk away.
Yeah, first of all, she looked incredible. An amazing performance, completely shut her down. I think one of the guys were telling me tonight that it was the most punches landed or something like that. So she broke 2 records tonight. I think that was the most punches she's ever landed, and I think she passed Sarah McMahon tonight for takedowns. So more records for her, and I'm not shocked that she retired. I've been saying for a while she's made a lot of money, and her life is a lot different than it was 10 years ago.
It's kind of weird, right? Because obviously she's achieved everything. She's done it all, but it's looking so easy for her, It's
Yeah.
like she could continue beating these girls and making more money. Are you happy that she's walking away? Are you happy to see her go away? Or do you think, come on, there's probably a couple more for you?
Well, I got to take it the same way I took Lorenzo retiring. No, I wasn't happy when Lorenzo retired either, but he said, you know what, this is what I want. Be happy for me. So this must be what Amanda wants, so then I'm definitely happy for her. Would I like to see her stick around and do some more? Absolutely. I love the kid. She's been incredible to work with. She's such a good human being and a great champion. And obviously the greatest female fighter of all time. I'd love to keep her around, but if she's ready to go, then you got to be happy for her.
I mean, with her retiring, this only just came to me, but with her retiring, the featherweight title, could that potentially retire with her? It's a division that hasn't really got that many females in it, or are you going to just try and keep it going, keep trying to sign new talent?
The answer is probably yes. I mean, I don't make these decisions right after a fight. She told me when she walked over to the side of the cage that she was retiring, so yeah, I don't know, but it makes sense.
And Charles Oliveira, counted out by a lot of people.
100%.
Comes in there, first round finish, looked great with the head kicks. I mean, this guy really is one of the best lightweights of all time, probably.
I agree. Yeah, incredible performance, especially against, Beneil, who a lot of people thought was going to win this fight. And, incredible.
Yeah. Last one for me. A barrier fell down, nearly on to Mike, actually. I'm curious if you heard about that. Was anyone hurt?
It was during his walkout, and no, nobody was seriously hurt. A couple minor injuries. The arena handled it immediately. Roped it off, got security up there, moved people to better seats, and handled it like a bunch of pros. So,
is that just another time that someone comes and tells you something's happened, and you're like, oh shit? And just keep? Is this just another incident where someone tells you, hey, a barrier's fallen down, and you just have to go, okay, well, let's roll with it?
Well, you guys have no idea all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes every single Saturday. So this is just, this played out on the other side of the curtain, and you got to see this. But there's stuff that happens every single Saturday, and we deal with it on the fly every weekend.
Thanks to them.
Yep.
Is there a health update on Chris Curtis?
Is there a what?
Health update on Chris Curtis? Second fight in a row, he got a headbutt.
Yeah, he's okay. We haven't heard. There's no. We got Irene Aldana out of here immediately to go to the hospital, get checked out. But yeah, we don't have anything. Haven't heard anything negative.
At the press conference on Thursday, you said at the time it made sense for the winner of Charles and Beneil might fight Islam. Islam obviously tweeted at Charles after his win. So
right.
At what point do you have to sit down and decide what is next?
Tuesday.
So in that same conversation, you're going to figure out what's next for the bantamweight title too, I would imagine. Now that
we got a lot of things to work on Tuesday now.
Would it be safe to say that Juliana would be at least part of that fight?
It would make a lot of sense.
And the final one for me, unrelated to this fight card, I believe you guys are doing a fight card on Mexican Independence Day, correct?
That's what the word is. That's what all the reporters are telling me.
At the T-Mobile Arena, would it make sense to have Alexa Grasso on that fight card?
Yeah, it probably would, yeah. A bunch of other Mexicans, too.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Dana over here. Dana, right in the middle.
Hi.
Looked like it was a great event tonight, just with everything that unfolded. And you guys have been back to Vancouver now twice in a row as far as Canadian cards go. Do you see this as sort of an annual destination just with the reception? And, I mean, you heard the pop for Charles tonight, who's not even Canadian. You must be pretty encouraged by that.
I agree. It's like we were in Brazil. I mean, from the first time he walked out at the press conference to tonight, obviously loved. Yeah. And listen, I love Vancouver. Vancouver's awesome, but this is Canada. This is what it's like everywhere we go in Canada. Canada has been a very good, place for us to go. This country's been very good to us since the beginning. And yeah, we're going to move around, but Vancouver's always going to be a destination. This arena treats us well. The city's been great. The people in Canada are the best. I mean, there's not a lot of negative things you can say about coming to Canada. We did a $5.14 million gate, sold out 17,628. I mean, it just cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I mean, everything about this country is awesome.
What about Mike Malott? He really stole the show this week, in my opinion, with his interviews. He did a lot of media. He was sort of thriving under it, and he goes out there and gets, an A-plus performance, finishing.
And being Canadian didn't hurt either.
Well, that too. That brings me to my next question. Do you see Mike as someone that you'll use going forward to put on these Canadian cards? Because it seems like the fans really connect with them.
Listen, you can come on to the Contender Series, and that's a big step up. You have to perform that night, right then, right there. You have to show us what you got. It's another whole different level when you come into your home country, you're on the main card. You have to go in and deliver. He absolutely, positively showed us who he is tonight. And the answer to your question is yes. This kid's for real.
And just last one for me. I know it was down between Vancouver and Calgary. Is Calgary a place you're going to revisit, or do you see yourself going somewhere else?
We're going to go everywhere. But the place that makes. Go ahead.
I was just going to say Toronto. I mean, a lot of the fighters that were on this card are from Ontario. Do you see Toronto as a possible destination just with everything that's going on? You said yes, so I'm taking it.
Yes, sir. That's where we should go next.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Yep.
And just to circle back to Amanda, obviously a legendary career. Do you have, any favorite memory, maybe a favorite fight of hers that you enjoyed, or maybe a behind-the-scenes anecdote you can share?
Not really. It's just every time I've ever dealt with her, she's one of the greatest human beings ever. I like her very much, not only as a fighter, but as a human being and as a friend. Her and I have had a very good relationship her entire time here. I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for her family. And, without sounding condescending, I'm very proud of her and what she's accomplished.
Yeah. Do you feel like this is one of those retirements that's going to stick?
What?
Like, do you think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she definitely, yeah. Listen, everybody spins every fucking thing I say. So, I kind of felt this. She's made a very good living. She's got a lot of money. She's going to be good. And I think you asked me, it was like, you said something like, why now when she looked so good and whatever. She looked great and she came out and performed, but I think it's all the things before you get here tonight, you know what I mean, that you have to go through and that you have to do that has made her decide to retire, in my opinion. But she'll be out here in a few minutes. You can ask her, what the hell do I know?
Right, and going back to Charles as well, first fighter to reach 20 finishes in the UFC, which is just a remarkable accomplishment. Like, can you maybe put into context how phenomenal that is, and just to have a guy who's been doing this for almost 13 years in the UFC at this level, 2 weight classes, and just accomplishing all he has? Yeah,
and if you look at how that guy turned his career around, from like 2016 to today, he's a completely different fighter. What he has accomplished in the last however many years it's been is unbelievable. What is it, like 7-8 years? I mean, it's amazing what he's done, and he looked like a world beater tonight. And I'm excited for him and Islam to fight again.
So that's what you're leaning towards?
No, I mean, I'm just saying it's the thing that makes sense. I'll tell you on Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, let's not play games. That fight makes sense. That's the fight that should happen, and I'm excited to see it again.
How much of Islam's input do you take into that? I know you and Mick and Hunter and Sean will get in a room and talk about it, but he said, I think yesterday to Daniel Cormier when they did an interview, like he wants to fight a fresh opponent, the idea of doing another rematch right now. If he tells you that and says maybe look at Gaethje and Poirier or something like that, do you take that into consideration?
There's a lot of things that go into consideration for the next fight. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you about him right now. I don't even know what's wrong with him. He's in medicals. I don't know where he's at. I don't know what he's got planned over the summer. The list goes on and on of things that factor into how fights are made. So, but I'm just telling you right here, right now, that, it's a fight I'd like to see again.
Yeah, and just last thing for me, I don't know if you saw the kind of viral clip of Conor McGregor at the NBA Finals last night, and how apparently that second punch sent the mascot to the ER or something like that. What do you make of that whole?
I saw the Deontay Wilder one too. What's up with mascots wanting to get punched in the face by professional fighters? What do you expect? You want to get punched? I mean, what are those mascot things made out of? Unless you're like the Golden Knights mascot, I wouldn't be. I don't even know what the hell he wears, but I'm assuming it's a metal helmet. I wouldn't have professional fighters punching me in the face if I was a mascot.
And
Doesn't seem like the brightest thing in the world.
actually, just lastly, speaking of the Golden Knights, obviously you have deep ties in Vegas. If they're able to get this last win and win the Stanley Cup, what do you think that kind of?
It's so huge for the city. For people that don't live in Vegas and don't understand, it's huge in Vegas. Huge. It's almost like Canada, man. I mean, as big as hockey is here, that's how big the team is in Vegas. So it's obviously incredible for the city, and yeah, it's great. I'm happy for him.
Dana, yeah, obviously 5 Canadian fighters winning on the card, a bunch of them big underdogs too, seemingly. Just thoughts on all of them kind of rising. Like, what was it about this show that made they kind of seem to ride this wave and feed off each other?
I felt like, and I don't know if you guys felt it, I don't know how long you guys have been in town, some of you are from here, but there was a good buzz and energy this whole week here. The press conference was awesome, the weigh-ins were awesome, and then obviously the energy tonight. And Canada has always been a place where there's been tons of talented fighters. We went through a little bit of a drought there after GSP, but Canada is back on the rise. So everybody showed up and performed tonight.
And what do you think a show like this does in terms of further fostering talent that's up and coming here?
Yeah, it's what I've said since day one. When you go in and you put on a live event, there's this explosion of, people start to train, people start to, these young kids start doing mixed martial arts. And, it happened a long time ago. And a lot of these kids that you're seeing today have been training for years. But the business goes like this when it comes to talent in different markets. It'll be hot when we had nobody from Mexico. We almost had 4 champions at the same time tonight. So, just the way that it rolls. When we first went to Australia, we had Elvis Sinisic. Now, some of the greatest talent in the world is coming out of Australia. So.
And then just last about Charles, the crowd's going nuts for him all week. What is it about him that resonates with so many people? Like you say, a Brazilian in Canada, and he's getting a crazy pop.
Well, it's like we were just talking about. If you look what the guy has done since 2016, he's completely turned his career around. He's one of the nicest human beings in the world. He's fun to watch fight. He finishes. He goes for, if he'll stand and bang with you, or he'll go to the ground and try to submit you. He's a fun guy to watch, and he's a great person. So why not like him?
Dana, just one over here to your left.
Yep.
Thrilling night for Charles Oliveira means a very disappointing night for Beneil Dariush. He had said over the week that he had been assured a title shot if he wins. What sort of role do you see him playing in the lightweight division coming off of this loss?
I don't know. He just lost. I have no idea. This is one of those things for him. He's been waiting for this opportunity. He's got to go home, get with his team, get with his family. There's a lot that plays out on his side on what he wants to do next and where his head's at. And then we'll figure that out. But I don't even talk about that stuff the night of the fight. The guy just lost probably the most heartbreaking loss in his entire career. So he's got a lot of stuff he needs to deal with mentally, emotionally, and whatever else.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dana, right here in the
Yep.
middle. Just a couple quick ones. August 5th, there's been talk of a Nashville card. Is that official?
What'd you say?
August 5th, there was talk of a Nashville card. Is that official?
Did we announce that?
Don't think you have yet.
Probably not official yet then.
And Justin Gagey did an interview recently where he talked about the BMF title, and he said, that's the promotion kind of throwing us a bone. They treat that like a title, and he talked about perks, maybe pay-per-view points. Is that more than just bragging rights? Does the promotion treat the BMF champ as a champ?
Well, you guys know how this whole thing started. We had that Masvidal-Diaz fight. It made sense. It was fun. And then we're in the matchmaking room again, and we started talking about this fight, and it made sense again. And it's fun with both of these guys. So we did it.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you want me to? What's the question for me?
Well,
Are there
he's
pay-per-view
asking if
points
we-
and stuff like that involved
Without
in
going
it?
into specifics, I know you can't talk contracts or anything, but
Well, I could. I just don't want to.
but are there perks beyond just bragging rights?
Listen, they're a main event on a pay-per-view card, and I'm sure they're both going to do very well.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Thank you.
Dana, right here.
Yep.
There's been a recent resurgence in Irish mixed martial arts with Conor on The Ultimate Fighter, Ian Gary breaking into the welterweight rankings, and outside of the UFC, we've got multiple world champions as well.
Yep.
When is the right time for you to come back to Ireland? It seems like a real good time right now.
That's a great question. We're just getting back to Canada, and we're 2 hours away. You know what I mean? When you think about where the world has been for the last, 3 years or whatever it's been, there's so many places for us to still get out to that we haven't been to in a while. But Ireland is definitely one of them. I mean, one of the greatest events I've ever been a part of was in Ireland. The night that Conor won that fight there, and literally the entire stadium threw their beers up in the air, and it was one of the coolest events I've ever been to. So Ireland is a place that we definitely want to get back to, and let's see what happens with Ian and what we can do there.
There was rumors that you tried to book the Tree Arena for the end of this year, possibly the start of next year. Any
There's lots of rumors about us booking arenas right now. I want to go back to Ireland.
Thank you.
Yes. You good?
One final one. Have you
Yeah.
talked to Juliana after because she?
No, I bet she's really pissed off right now, though. I can just she's probably running around Vancouver like a lunatic right now.
She's been tweeting a lot.
I bet she has. I bet she has. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't want to run into Juliana. Yeah.
Is there any movement on the Colby Covington and Leon Edwards fight?
Nope. Thanks for asking. Have a great night. Thank you, Canada. We appreciate you.